people, today I am filming freezer meals. This video was super long, so I made it into 2 parts. Part 1 is already posted. This is part 2. You're welcome. I have, I think, 4 or 5 more meals for you, recipes, and I show you how I put them all together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello again, guys. It is day 2. I took a break. It's now the next morning, so if you see my robe peeking through, it's because that's the only thing that fits me right now. Totally beside the point. We're gonna make baked ziti. I had just a little bit of sauce left over from the lasagna, and then I have some Alfredo sauce left over. So I'm just gonna split these noodles half and half, make 2 meals. It's gonna be great. I also have Parmesan cheese, dairy-free, and then I have dairy normal cheese. And I do baked ziti the lazy way. I don't do layers, mostly because I didn't want to dirty another pan, and mostly because I don't care. So I'm just going to mix half of these noodles in with the sauce, sprinkle some cheese in, mix that together, and then put some Parmesan on top. Okay, so there it is, and I'm just going to sprinkle some Parmesan on top, and then cover it with tin foil. And 1 more meal down. Alright, next I'm just going to make another like 8x8 dish of the Alfredo pasta, chicken pasta that I have left over. Same thing as before, just a little version. Here it is all mixed up. I kind of want to add some broccoli in. I might do that and then put some tin foil over it and freeze it. Okay, next we're going to make tuna noodle casserole, except for there's no tuna. We're going to use chicken instead. Just for no good reason other than the fact that I don't have tuna. I have chicken. You need a couple cans of cream of chicken. I usually use like 1.5 and then like water it down with some milk. That didn't make sense. I milk it down with milk? I don't know. Loosen it up, whatever. I have a bag of mixed vegetables and then just some egg noodles that I cooked that are already cooked here. So we're just gonna crack everything open and mix it all together. Alright, so here's a 1.5 cans, and I'm just going to put some coconut milk in there. I don't measure if you haven't noticed, if I didn't mention that already. Alright, you can add some spices if you want. I'm just gonna go with plain old pepper, maybe a little garlic powder. Good. Alright, now we're just gonna dump the noodles in and then dump the bag of veggies in. Oh, the noodles are hot today. Also, you can add these. I bought these to add in here, but my kids just eat them for fun, like as a snack, so there's hardly any left. So the day of, I'm just gonna sprinkle some right on top. Whoa! Whoa! All right, there it is, chicken noodle casserole. I'm gonna cover it up and it's ready for the freezer. Okay, so next up I'm going to be making pasta fagioli or pasta e fagioli. I don't know, what's on my hands? The heck, I just tidied up from making a bunch of stuff. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so for this recipe you're going to need 4 celery ribs, 3 carrots. You can do more or less depending, like the recipe says less, but I do a little bit more. Some pasta noodles, ditalini. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I lived in Italy for a few years, so yeah, whatever. And I'm Italian. An onion or half an onion, depending on if you like onions. I love onions, so I'm going to do a whole onion. And in here I have some cooked ground beef and some sausage in there, so it's just mixed in together. It's quite a bit though. There's a lot in there, and it's quite heavy. What is this? Crushed tomatoes, 28 ounces of those. The recipe calls for beef stock, 2 cans of beef stock, but I have these like beef bouillon cubes. Is that how you pronounce it? Bouillon? I don't know. Kidney beans. The recipe, well, those aren't cannellini. Cannellini beans. Recipe also calls for red kidney beans, but I forgot to buy them, and I have a bunch of black beans in my cupboard, so I'm going with that. You work with what you have. Italian seasoning, some bay leaf, pepper, salt if you want to add some, and whatever other seasonings you want to add. I'm just going to clean the veggies and dice them up, and then I'll show you the rest. All right, so there's all my veg right in the pot there, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of salt just to get the water to come out of it, and I'm going to start cooking. My dad always told me to season every layer. Every time you cook something new in a pot, you put more seasoning on it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I forgot that I pulled out some garlic, so I'm probably gonna shove some garlic in there right at the very end. Okay, so now that our veggies are pretty much soft, not all the way soft because they're still gonna cook with the noodles, I'm going to add, first I'm gonna add in the beef, which you would be cooking with the veggies if it wasn't already cooked, but mine is. And there's onions in there too, but the more the merrier. Next I'm going to add the crushed tomatoes, and then I'm going to add the beef stock. I tried to mix in the bouillon cubes with 4 cups of water. Just trying to get it off the bottom here. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to add my garlic. Right now. Better late than never. I'm gonna add my beans. I drained both cans, the black beans and the cannellini beans. I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning. Just enough to coat the top. It's going everywhere. Some black pepper, some more pepper, and a couple of bay leaves. Actually, I can add them now. All right, and I'm glad that I glanced at the directions because you're only supposed to add a cup of these. I would have added the entire bag. That is a hearty fall soup, and I cannot wait to eat it. It smells really good. So here it is, all complete. I let it cook for quite a while. I just put it on low. This is technically a crock pot meal dish, so I could have like cranked the heat up and just let the noodles cook, but instead I let it just, I put it on low, like super low. My oven goes from 1 to 10, and then it has a low setting, so lower than 1. And I let it cook for probably like 30-45 minutes or so until the pasta was done. The big carrots are still a little crunchy, but I don't mind that. I'm sure they'll soften up, and then the next time I go to cook it, they'll soften up even more. So I'm gonna put these into some Tupperware containers. All right, so it made 2 of these bigger containers and then 1 of these smaller containers, which is perfect. It's a lot of soup right there. Okay, next up I'm going to be making fried rice. Super simple. I cooked up 3 cups of rice because that's all I had. I wish I had more, but I really don't feel like going to the store. I have this chicken from Chicken Alfredo, and I just cut it up and cooked it. I have a dozen eggs I'm going to scramble. I have a bunch of Brussels sprouts. These are my favorite vegetable. And then I have a bag of mixed vegetables and then some soy sauce. And I'm also going to use some seasonings like Italian seasoning, garlic seasoning, my go-tos. All right, so here's everything cooked. I'm just gonna dump everything in with the rice, the eggs, the chicken. I like my chicken both ways, double protein. The Brussels sprouts, I just steamed those in the microwave with a little bit of water. And the frozen vegetables. Holy crap, how am I gonna stir this? Okay, I'm also going to add just a little bit of soy sauce, maybe a couple tablespoons here. And some Italian seasoning. Some garlic seasoning in there. And some black pepper. Now, wish me luck. This is the biggest bowl that I have. So, yeah, this is gonna be fun for you, not me. All right, so that wasn't too bad, pretty easy. We like to eat this with sriracha sauce, but I'm not gonna add it because the kids obviously can't handle it. So, I have my Tupperware containers. I'm just gonna fill these guys up. All right, so there they are in their nice containers. I'm just gonna put the lids on, and my husband is chomping at the bit to eat this, so I'm gonna quickly put them in the freezer so he is not tempted. Freezer meals are one of my top postpartum must-haves, and I feel like I'm very far along in my pregnancy.